So I'd like to start with a question. I'd like you to take a moment to think of a leader you've encountered who truly made you want to do your best work. Picture that person in your mind. And as you think about them, the very simple question I have for you is why did you want to follow them? Most people will name qualities like trust, respect, inspiration. It's rarely about authority or really even charisma. It's very often about how that leader makes them feel. And so, this is the essence of positive leadership. It's not about being a nice leader, and it's not even really about personality. It's about creating an environment where people feel genuinely seen, heard, and valued, a place where they want to contribute. And so positive leadership builds these kinds of environments. And there's solid research behind it from people like Kim Cameron or Jane Dutton or all the great folks out at the Center for Positive Organizations at University of Michigan. They all show us that when leaders create this kind of positive climate, it's transformative. And it's not just for the individuals, but for the entire organization. And so that's why I get so passionate about positive leadership. And much like positive psychology is not just think happy or it's all puppy dogs and rainbows, positive leadership isn't all about just being the nice leader. It's about creating that kind of environment where people really can do their best work. And so when we think about how to actually be that leader, there's a lot of qualities that are involved. You've probably heard of folks like Brene Brown or Simon Sinek talk about vulnerability. This can be key to being a positive leader because we're showing up with our own humanity. We're role modeling what it means to be an imperfect, messy human being who is well-intentioned and just trying to do the best work that we can. And when we as leaders can role model that kind of humility and authenticity, we start to create the kind of environment where people open up. You might have heard that when we're operating from a place of fear, our executive function starts to narrow and starts to shut down. And that's why you might hear that when we're operating from a place of fear, we simply don't do our best work. It's impossible. And so how do we get people into that creative zone? It's sort of the opposite of fear. We create the kind of space where people feel recognized and again, valued and seen and heard. Because another piece of positive psychology that you might have heard about is this idea of strengths. That's something that I love about the field in particular, is that when we're clear on our strengths, because we've all got our own unique character strengths, when we're clear on what those are and we're able to lean into them and really leverage our strengths, we are more creative. We're more satisfied in the work that we can do. And ultimately, we can find more flourishing in life. And so similarly, that's why I'm passionate about positive leadership, because I want to be able to help leaders get out of their own way, stop being afraid themselves so that they can invite their teams to show up and do their best work. There's also an element of resilience here. It's about recognizing that nothing's perfect. We're all going to screw up. Again, we're messy, imperfect human beings. And as a leader, if we can invite our teams to learn from mistakes or from failure, we're going to create the kind of environment where, again, we're reducing that fear. And I'm not just suggesting that as a leader, we will tolerate things like malfeasance or sloppiness or laziness. That's not what it's about. But even this team that I'm working with right now, they recognize that there is a fear of failure, and that's very pervasive in a lot of organizations. And to me, that's such a tragedy, because when things don't go the way that we expect, we have a tremendous opportunity to get to learn.